What is up? Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, February 4th, so we're moving things along, and there's a lot of news and momentum coming out, right? The age of volatility is here, it's upon us. We've seen massive swings up and down in the markets, and a lot of this due to tariffs. We've got earnings coming out. We'll talk about Palantir, we'll talk about AI, and we'll talk about tariffs, right? One of the biggest factors in a lot of this volatility over the last few weeks, we can say. We had Sunday session, massive gap lower, rebid continuous throughout yesterday's session, slap back down on the overnight, rebid on the overnight, right? You've got a lot of crap that's going on right now, and it's a back and forth quick trade war going on between North America, three neighboring countries, as well as what we got going on in China. So super long days, a lot of volatility, but right now we've seen a standoff during regular trading hours along with stability. Canada, Mexico, the US, they reached a short-term conclusion. Meanwhile, earnings continue to dominate a lot of the conversations for investors. We'll talk about Palantir because Palantir was one of the main focuses from yesterday's earnings report, and you can see we're gapping up well above $100. Seems like one of the biggest AI names out there, and generally, in terms of tariff news, right, stocks sold off on Friday as President Trump imposed a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, enacting the rule way earlier than anticipated. Over the weekend, both countries retaliated with their own tariffs, causing stocks and other risk assets to plummet sharply on Sunday evening when the futures opened. So the market traded sideways for the most part of the pre-market session. It looked like it was set to make new lows shortly after the open. However, a discussion with Mexican President led to a month-long pause for both countries' tariffs after they agreed on steps to reinforce border security. Later in the day, we also saw Justin Trudeau, the Canadian current Prime Minister, announce the implementation of $1.3 billion of a border plan, increasing resources to stop the flow of fentanyl. And the country is also making new commitments to appoint a fentanyl czar, with the use of $200 million for the new intelligence and directive on organized crime and more. So just as quickly as it began, the North American trade war of 2025 seems to be currently stabilized, maybe not over, but not without lots of volatility to chop up traders and investors in the process. Proposed tariffs from all countries will be paused for at least 30 days as discussions continue. However, the situation signals what most of us already knew: volatility will likely remain elevated in 2025 as the new administration implements its proposal in a classic Trump fashion, with optics at the forefront of every decision. And overall, this is what I outlined in the weekend video that I posted for you guys on YouTube on Sunday, with the expectation of a lot of volatility, comparing it to the last time that Trump was president and had a trade war between China. You had immense volatile sessions and weeks before eventually, right, combining an up move, but there's a lot of movement realistically. Time will obviously tell how this specific situation plays out, but for now, other countries are unnoticed, allies or otherwise. Trump's tariffs are here, and everyone's realistically vulnerable. We had China as well, was in the mix, not just North America. Fresh duties announced by China's Ministry of Finance, levying a 15% tax on certain types of coal and liquefied natural gas, and a 10% tariff on crude oil, agricultural machinery, large displacement cars, and pickup trucks. The measures are effective on February 10th, after that's my mom's birthday, after Trump imposed a 10% tariff on China. So they're hitting back as well, and the volatility is most likely here to stay. Now, the other big topic of conversation here is Palantir. Palantir pressing to $100 after the lows. I don't know what the lows were. The lows enacted for a very long period of time, maybe around $5-6, something like that. I think somewhere here is probably the low, around like $6, just under $6. But anyways, what a freaking ride. So if we say that it was around $6, give or take the low, to the current 103 area, we're up about 1,600%. So while NVIDIA and other Mag 7 members have grabbed headlines over the past year, One of the AI players that has stood ahead of the pack in terms of sheer returns is Palantir. Over the last 12 months alone, it's up 514%, and it just took another leg up into after-hours trading on Monday after it pushed above this $100 marker for the first time ever. Impeccable earnings from the AI software analytics company were responsible for a nearly 23% rally, while its projected bumper numbers for 2025 amid accelerating AI adoption. So back in 2024, it seemed like Palantir was getting a lot of juice. It was climbing back up multiple strong days in a row, right? Even we were looking at it when it was trading around $22, and we got this like pretty large expansive move on Palantir. It also recently joined the S&P 500, the Nasdaq as well, giving it exposure to broader market ETFs and products. Meanwhile, a deepening relationship with U.S. Department of Defense resulted in government sales expanding 45% to $343 million in the last quarter, while the U.S. commercial revenue skyrocketed 64% to $214 million. Palantir's AI platform, which helps companies integrate complex AI models for analytics and insights, has played a pivotal role in linking the new contracts, while efficiency initiatives and likely increases in defense spending by the Trump administration should ring the register for the foreseeable future. So just like other AI names, everyone's talking about bubbles exploding here and there. AI is screwed, but you see that we're just beginning, and Nvidia is far away, I guess, from its all-time highs in a specific sense. Short